Let's do it. Watcher, flipping heck, it's 2024, and this is Magazine Building Worlds. Yeah, I'm not going to say it like that because some of you might not even recognise me anymore because it's been so long since I made a video. For that, many apologies. This video is going to be a quick roundup of 2023, what I've got coming up in 2024. I'll show you a couple of cool things that I've got recently, some new toys and that kind of stuff. So, first of all, before we do anything else, apologies for the fact there hasn't been much in the way of content, especially in the last couple of months. A number of reasons for that. First of all, I've been ill continuously, had a cold for ages, and nobody needs me snotting all over them when they're kind of like doing their hobby. Secondly, of course, it's been dead busy this year. For much of this year, work-wise, of course, I spent the summer being a pirate for English Heritage. Woohoo! Halloween, I was out with a team of monster hunters. I was troll hunting myself. That was all very busy. And then, of course, Christmas is a very busy time of year for us because I have to represent the big man. Actually, this year, we also put Father Christmas's grotto and supplied a Father Christmas and Natural History Museum in London as well, which was kind of cool. We got to do museum at night when we're setting the whole thing up, and it's been kind of busy. Along with that, believe it in schools, and of course I now am one of the directors of Time Capsule Video, and our new TCTV Schools Primary TV channel launched in September, and we're busy making TV programs, proper videos for people to watch. So it's been a damn busy time, and I haven't got a great deal to do. You not recognise the surroundings. I mean, I'm in temporary accommodation. The workshop where I was, which is over that side of the garden. In fact, if you watched a lot of my videos, I used to make videos in here. Yeah, so this used to be the workshop, and then I moved across the garden into the other workshop, and that workshop now has been taken down. I'll show you, but it's night out there, and there's a gale blowing across it, so this is a big void. There's a new building going up over there, and then this one is going to get taken down. There's a new building going to go up here. So I'm kind of like living a bit like a hobo at the moment. My office is over there behind us, and I've got a bit of workshop space, but I've got loads of other crafting stuff all stacked up around me, including loads of Heidi's kind of like kit for making costume and all sorts of bits and pieces. So it's a bit tricky at the minute to actually get any projects done. But having said all that, there have been a few projects done in 2023. There wasn't as much as I was hoping there was going to be. I haven't gone back and looked at the what's coming up in 2023 video just to kind of like check up on myself. Pretty sure I failed miserably. But what did we do? We started off 2023 by making the landing pad for Star Wars, come Stargrave, come other sci-fi kind of games. I was kind of pleased with that, and also made some hab units to go with the buildings that I'd already started to make for a Star Wars location. And in those videos, I'm pretty sure that was where I kind of like had a nice kind of put out an appeal to viewers, saying, hey, it would be really cool if people felt like painting some figures for me. And that was a thing. That definitely happened. 3 different people volunteered to paint models for me. I got different sets of Star Wars figures, Empire stuff painted for me to some extent or another. Very pleased. And apart from that, that started a relationship with Ook, which I'll get back to in a little while. So, yeah, I've got some Star Wars figures painted. I've got more to paint. That's, yeah, still not there with that, ready to play. But making more things here. And then, of course, I made Erasmus's Emporium. Hang on. Not my usual kind of build for this channel. For those who don't remember, here it is. There it is. This was actually made for work. So this is a 5-inch scale. What's that? 1/12 model that I use for helping the start of fantasy story writing. I really enjoyed this with a mini-me in fantasy kit. There it is. And also Erasmus, aka John, my partner in crime when it comes to working in schools. So that was a really good model. I really like that, and that's going to get some use this term coming. I've got some other models to make for this range, which is kind of neat, so I quite like that. And then after Erasmus's Emporium, of course, we'd been gearing up for Salute. Myself and my mates who play B&B together went to Salute, had a great time, played a great big game on my Benfleet table, which you may have seen photographs of. It's another one of those ones where I really need to do a kind of like a video flyover. And you might remember my conversion of the rather splendid Oathsworn Cave Bear, my one entitled Gone Fishing. That was good fun. Haven't actually used this in the game yet because, you know, it's bonkers. It doesn't really kind of like go with kind of really what my idea of B&B is, but such a cool model had to be done. Right, then of course there was a Patreon build. The Northern Rock Bank was built for one of the winners of one of my Patreon competitions. This was a really cool model. I really enjoyed making this model. A really versatile model for burrows and badgers, and I really enjoyed seeing it being used in loads of photographs on the tabletop on the Burrows and Badgers Facebook group. It's very satisfying when models you made appear in other people's games, getting a lot of use. So big up for that, very pleased. From there, of course, after Northern Rock, I then went back to the Sump. Started playing around with the Ash Waste scenery. Right back 2022, I did an Ash Waste build just for fun. And then I took the Ash Waste scenery that was kind of like in the Ash Waste box. I decided what I really need to do was put it in the Sump. I'm never going to get around to Ash Waste playing, but Sump Sea stuff, really cool. So I did two different builds on the Sump Sea. One was a series of hab units all linked together by raised walkways. Ooh, excuse me. And the other one, of course, was the container ship condos for the mayor of Sump Town, which are really cool. So I am this close to getting all of that out and putting that together. One of the new cool things about my new office and workshop, hopefully, is I'm going to have a space big enough for a table that I can actually put stuff on and film there nice and easily. So I promise the complete Sump Sea, what I've got, is coming when I finally make myself a couple of blank seawater kind of boards to spread it all out a little bit. And then I go on to another Patreon build. Spent a lot of time last year doing Patreon builds. Patreon builds, yeah, I'll get onto that in one moment. The Patreon build, of course, that I did last of all was for a guy called Ant, and that was a Carnivali build. Although it's been pointed out by several people, it would be really quite cool being used in Minas Tirith as well, or Osgiliath in Lord of the Rings. That is over there on the shelf. Hang on, I'll get it. Here we are. There we go. My favourite features of this model being the nice stained glass windows and the printed turret on the top. Obviously, I haven't got this to Ant yet, which is good. You're supposed to be coming to get it. And if you're watching this, come and get this piggy model. Although, I have a confession to make. You'll have to wait a week or two, because when taking down the office over there and moving stuff all out of the workshop and moving it all into here, I did have a bit of an accident. And a bit got dropped on it, and look, it got knackered. Oh, look, there's all that. And so a repair job, whoops, is in order. Remember, that bit was never stuck on. That's not broken, but this bit bloody well is. So I've got to kind of like do a repair job on that. But Ant, give me a shout, come and collect this. That'd be really cool. I'd love to see your painted Carnivali figures that I know you've been working on this winter. Yes, I know you have. You better bloody had been. Yeah, right, okay. Anyway, enough about personal messages just to one guy. So that was it. That was, unfortunately, all the builds I managed in 2023. It wasn't as productive a year as I was hoping it was going to be quite honest, like I said already. And certainly the last few weeks have been absolutely, I've been hamstrung by living in piles of stuff all over the place. I can hardly move. We got stuff piled all over the place. Won't bother showing you all the piles of stuff. I have made some sense of it, but yeah, whilst the build for the new workshop and office is going on, and then the new Time Capsule TV office as well, I am a bit stuck for what I can do. Okay, so after what did we do last year, we need to have a look at new bits and things and stuff and going on. Before we go any further, I need to share this with you. I've been asked if I would start sharing some printed products with you through my mini factory, and in this case here, what we're talking about are the Only Games crates. Only Games crate available from onlygames.co. It's a monthly subscription service. You sign up for a £10 subscription service, which I believe includes the postage. And each month you get either sign up for a fantasy one or a sci-fi one. I believe that's how it works. And what you get is a crate of figures each month from different manufacturers, as far as I can tell. So this one, the fantasy one, this was the December release I got for that, and in it there were 3 nicely printed resin figures from Knucklebones. Come over here and have a look at them on the tabletop. I could do the hold it up in front of the camera thing like that, and I could do, look, here's one, it's kind of cool, there he is. Whoop. And this is the next one, but we'll have a look at them on the workbench. Very nice. And then this dude here, which is, yeah, kind of wicked. He's a weird looking fella. There's a couple of bits that I think need trimming off, but yeah, nice. So we'll have a look at those carefully. The 3 figures from Knucklebones in the Only Games crate set. Oh, blimey, that will stand up. From December. So does that. I can't believe this one's going. I have no idea how he's supposed to stand up. I'm pretty sure some of that would have to be cut off and you'd slot that into a slot base. But here we go. So they're kind of like, yeah, they've got this old 80s, 90s vibe. Let's have a look at one figure at a time, shall we? We're going to come right down here and have a quick look. So let's just move these 2 guys out of the way. So first up then, we've got this spiky little chaos dude, really. Nice little model. Really nice sculpting on the shield on the front. I hope we can get in this. Pineapple-y kind of spiky head here. Let's find something smaller than my finger to point at him with. There we go. Paintbrush. So we've got this really nice sculpted shield, Viking sword, nice defined male on his kind of like. I think it's supposed to be male. It is male. He's got this strange kind of male hood that obviously is underneath, goes underneath his helmet. In real life this would be a bit constricting, but it's quite nice from a painting point of view. And then we've got these nice hanging down leather straps and bits and pieces that are going over the top of his fabric clothes. Very funky late 80s kind of feel to that. Then we have this dude who looks a bit like, I think, Tim the Magician from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Here we go. So big overstated head. Oh shit, knocked him over. Big overstated head. He's got a cloak there. Oh, their hands. He's got these kind of clawy type shoulder pads that holding his cloak out the way. Nice kind of model. Interesting pose. I'm not quite sure what he's doing there. Must be casting some kind of spell. And he's got this huge forked beard, which I think kind of like mirrors the curly horns on the top of his helmet. So again, yeah, another classic kind of model, kind of vibe. Like it. You could tell the quality of my video making has improved so much. This guy has, let's bring him in here a bit. It's kind of crow-headed, but there's human form in here as well. He's got this whacking great big sword, which has got, I think, this magical power that's kind of like coming off it. Although, yeah, I think that's deliberate. It doesn't look like you need to be trimming that off. That's all supposed to be there. He's got claw-like hands, and he's all in this kind of like robe kind of thing going on. It's very ethereal. Paint that up, I reckon that's kind of like a creature of nightmares of some description, which is pretty cool. So these 3 models are from Knucklebones, and I'd be quite happy if they turned up in the post. They're pretty cool, bit funky. I'm not playing fantasy games where I could really use these guys at the minute, although this bloke actually a bit weird like that. I could even get away with him, some kind of ghast kind of character, I suppose, for B&B, some undead kind of bird, which is kind of cool. But I do really like these models, and I am always constantly surprised of how good quality. I don't know why I'm constantly surprised, but I am very surprised. I'm really happy to see the the quality of these resin printed figures. So nice one, Knucklebones. They're very good. Okay, so that was the fantasy box, and then this, if you sign up for the fantasy box, then they come in a nice little box like that. I kind of like that as a crate. Or if you sign up for the sci-fi crate, you get this one. And in this box this month, there were 3 figures from Wargames Atlantic Digital, which is the obviously the digital arm of Wargames Atlantic. If you might have bought historical or fantasy or sci-fi figures from Wargames Atlantic, American company, then that's pretty cool. And then there I have 3 figures in that box, so quite nice. I can't do the hold it in front of the camera thing because look, these are multi-part kits. So let's go and have a look at these down on the table as well, and I'll try, if nothing else, to pronounce the unpronounceable name of the frog type dude. Check it out. From the Sci-Fi Only Games crate, we've got these models from Wargames Atlantic Digital. Now, as you can see, it's a multi-part model. I'm going hands-free on this so I can get the camera exactly where I want it. This, they obviously have a system which is called Death Fields. Death Fields Arena. This is an arena security AI. This guy is a robot, which is quite nice. I don't know much about the system, but he would make a really good generic robot for Stargrave and other sci-fi adventuring games. Nice, clearly defined kind of like skeletal exoskeleton-y kind of robot. The gun barrel here, a little bit on the flimsy side in some ways, because it's a sci-fi gunny. I might be, you know, tempted to actually take that bit off, but that's quite nice. That's always going to be that kind of vulnerable part of a model. You know the ones I mean. This is a Death Fields Arena security team member. Weapon in each hand. Again, nice generic sci-fi kind of like security guard copper kind of uniform. Very useful for Stargrave and that kind of thing. Good scale. They will stand up quite well against figures from other ranges, I think. So yeah, he's a nice little model. And then this dude is by far my favourite model out of this set. I'm afraid my camera work can't really do it justice, I don't think. He's kind of like a frog, amphibian type chap. The race, by the looks of things, it's called Knucklebones. I have no idea how you pronounce that. N-Glonhgk. Knucklebones. A bit froggy. Space frog. It's kind of cool. He's definitely going to make an appearance in a sci-fi game of mine this year. Nice. I mean, great quality print. Lots of detail. The face is really cool. Big, chunky. Yeah, I like that very much indeed. So yeah, nice one, Wargames Atlantic. Below there are some links if you're interested in looking at more of those to the Only Games website. But yeah, very cool. So do consider checking out an Only Games crate subscription. That's pretty neat. I hope to bring you more Only Games subscription figures during this year. You never know. Okay, so I'm so taken with this model. Here he is. I've decided I'm going to stick it together straight away. I'd like to see what it looks like all in one piece. Get the frog head up the right way. There it is. Sticking that in there. Actually, that fits really nicely. It's got quite a lot of movement range because of the ball joint on the neck, which is pretty cool. Like that a lot. Can get super glue in both his armholes. For those of you who are interested, I'm using Gorilla Glue. Good stuff. Sticky stick. Arm in one. Good stuff. Pointy arm in the other. Is he not pointing? It looks like he's pointing to me. Arms super glued, stuck to me up myself, like you do. What's he pointing at? Oh, he's got some kind of wristy kind of thing. That's really wicked. Alright, I've had a 25mm Necromunda base. He's got nice big feet, this dude.
There we go. You could probably do with being on a bigger base, actually. But nevertheless, nice. There you go. There you have it. A little froggy dude. There we go. A Knucklebones from War Games Atlantic Digital. Nice little model. I like his chunky gun. There we go. Get a close up of that. That's pretty cool. I like his froggy features. Sneering face, pointy thing. Cool alien. Definitely could get used in Stargrave. Wouldn't go wrong. Stood in the back of a cantina in Star Wars, to be quite honest. Very neat. Like him lots.
So there you go. That I'm really impressed actually with the quality of those prints. This modern age of printing your own figures or have figures printed for kind of on demand is something that a Luddite like me is gradually getting my head around. Resin figures as a whole is something I still struggle with, and different kinds of plastics. It is a definite thing. I like some resins. I've got some resin stuff at Workshop, and Resin Workshop led the way, and of course there are all kinds of terrible stories about Workshop resin one way or another, but I believe some of it's got better and better. My favourite miniature manufacturer, Oathsworn Miniatures, they make all their big figures in resin. They work really, really well. Really high quality figures too. These guys I really like. Both sets of those I think I could work with quite well. The resin is crisp. It does hold good quality detail. You can paint it up nicely. Moonstone figures. Pretty sure Moonstone figures, they're a nice resin. They print up really well as well. I've got some of those along the way. Not that I'm going to get really into Moonstone. Well, I might, you know, you never know. Oh, yeah, blimey, I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I've got various things that I 3D printed myself, or friends of mine are 3D printing. 3D printing is definitely becoming a big thing. My mini factory is something that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this kind of fun subscription where you don't know what you're going to get. Well, you don't know what you're going to get every month, so it's a bit of a gamble, but you can get some absolute gems, and for a tenner, you know, hey, you got stuff, if nothing else, you could stick in your ever-growing painting mountain. So it is well worth thinking about it. You can go to onlygames.co. There's a link down below in the comments, and that way there you can check that out and sign up to them. It's quite neat. I hope I can get some more of these. If you like that, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? What do you think of those toys? I'm certainly going to find use for, well, certainly this I can't remember the name. This frog fella whose head's not stuck on. Yeah, the nice generic sci-fi figures definitely get used. Fantasy ones, well, I'm not really doing fantasy at the moment, but they're cool models, so you know, who knows? I might find a use for them one way or another. Anyway, right, moving on. What else do we need to talk about? Oh, yeah, other things that I've got. Not being promoted or done anything by this. This is just a cool thing I've bought. Let me flip to the front. This is from Handiwork Games. You'll see the results of this in a moment when I talk about upcoming projects. This is a set of sci-fi backdrops. I believe these were kickstarted not too long ago. It's just a nice book of 32 paintings to use as backgrounds to enhance your miniature photographs. This is a sci-fi backdrops one, and over there across the office on the desk over there is a fantasy one as well. They're really, really lovely backgrounds. This kind of thing, just nice, spacey, post-apocalyptic-y, different kind of backgrounds you can use. It could certainly improve the look of your figures. It could certainly, you know, you never know, you might be able to, it's nice to have that backdrop kind of thing there. There's a bit in each book which gives you kind of like hints and tips how to get the best out of actually taking photographs. Or certainly is in the fantasy one, hang on a moment. which is kind of cool. They're 20 quid a book, which I think actually is, I'm going to get a lot of use out of these. So do check them out. They're from Handiwork Games, which is www.handiwork.games. Check them out on Facebook. Well worth it. Like I said, I've got the fantasy one too. You will see those being used by me on various occasions. Right, now, what other news have I got? Oh, yeah. So, 2024, what's coming? Alright, I can't promise that I'm going to make tons and tons of stuff this year. It's going to be a busy year. The first 6 weeks, I haven't got a proper workshop. But I am going to get on. I have already made a start on some Judge Dredd scenery. Yeah, I know. Actual stuff for Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd is one of the things I've always loved the idea of. But my problem with Judge Dredd is the fact that, and the Judge Dredd game, various versions of the Judge Dredd game, is the fact that it never gets treated the way I want it to get treated. The tabletop games never look like the comics, or not enough like the comics. They're always just played in kind of like generic sci-fi industrial wastelandy kind of things, and I want my Judge Dredd games to look far more like the comics and be set in locations that are in the comics. And I'm not talking about Cursed Earth and that kind of stuff, because that's a bit of a cop-out really, because that's just a bit ash wasty. So I want Mega City 1, I want blocks and tween block plazas and shopping malls and pedways and megways and all that kind of thing. So I am making some Judge Dredd stuff, partly because, apart from nothing else, that those painting relationships I talked about earlier. Ook has painted me a whole bunch of Judge Dredd figures. I've got a really nice collection of painted Dredd miniatures, and there will be more added to it this year as well, which is really, really cool. Check some of these out. Notice the really cool backdrops that enhanced everything there. Really crisp, lovely figures. I now have no excuse for not making Dredd scenery, because I've got painted Dredd figures and I need something to paint them on. So first scenery projects of this year are going to be Judge Dredd. Then what else are we going to do? We are probably almost certainly going to be going back to the sump and making more Necromunda scenery, because I just can't stop myself. I keep getting way too many ideas. I did get Games Workshop 40k Nachmund Dark World, Night World kind of like scenery box set the other day. That's given me a whole bunch of ideas that might end up in the sump too, so look out for those. Carnivale is definitely on my radar this year. Over here I've got some Terraformers tile sets to make up. Carnivale, apart from anything else, looks like you could play it on a table as small as 2 foot by 2 foot. So I am going to start making some modular Venice gaming tables, tiles, that kind of thing. So I've bought, I've got a set of a number of tiles, and then also in here, I've leapt into some TT Combat. Is that it? Yeah. Some TT Combat laser cut scenery as well to get me started. I want to make scratch build stuff like everything else, but to get me started playing Carnivale and get it up quick, and I don't want to use the printed cardboard stuff in the box, although it's kind of cool. I want to have a go at messing around with some laser cut MDF, see what I can do with it, see how nice I can make it look and how little I can make it look like laser cut MDF. So that is definitely going to be a project that happens. Where else are we? Oh yeah, between now and then, apart from some Judge Dredd scenery I need to make, I've got more stuff to make for work, fantasy scenery wise. But the other thing is between now and April, myself and my mates who I play B&B with have got a project to get on with for Salute. Salute, whatever it is, 2024, Salute 51. We're going to be taking a game to that, and there will be some scenery builds that go with that. Some nice basic get you started B&B kind of scenery builds, and then some more complicated stuff too. So watch out for that in the spring as well. Blimey, that's quite a lot to be getting on with. And then, of course, there will be Patreon builds. Yes, there will. Mentioned those already for Patreon builds that I made last year. But of course, I'm already behind with Patreon builds before I even start this year. everything ran away with me in December. I was supposed to have a Patreon competition in December, so hell no. Now it's January 2024 Patreon competition. If you are one of my select patrons, now is the time to be thinking about what I can make for you. It's going to be bonkers. Today is the 2nd of January. I'm going to give you 2 weeks, patrons. That's till the 16th of January to come up with your idea for a piece of scenery you would like me to build for you. For those of you who don't know and you want to jump in there, if you become one of my patrons, you can enter a Patreon competition. And the Patreon competition is simple. Whenever one happens, you can enter the competition and you stand a chance of winning a piece of scenery made by me. It can be usually no more than 12 inches by, I don't know what I'm doing, 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches for any gaming system you like. It doesn't have to be one that I regularly make. That was why I just made a Carnivale one. And in the past, I've made B&B ones, certainly. I've made the odd Necromunda one. But I've made Bolt Action and other bits and pieces too. Silver Bayonet, that was a good one. That didn't get mentioned on the list. When did I make that Silver Bayonet model? That must be bloody ages ago. Anyway, so yeah, if you're one of my patrons, now is the time to be thinking about 2024, what would you like in a Patreon competition. So, the rules are very simple, as I said, 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. Any gaming system you like, you need to come up with a cool idea, and the coolest idea I will make for you. That's it, simple. So you have 2 weeks from now, the 2nd of January, not December, is it? It's January, 2nd of January, till the 16th of January, yeah, about then, and then, which might not be quite 2 weeks, because I might not have edited this, well, certainly won't have edited it on the 2nd of January, because I'm only filming it on the 2nd of January, and you know what I mean. So, but by the 16th of January, you need to get hold of me, message me through the Facebook page or the Patreon page, and I'll choose that. If you want to become one of my patrons, all you have to do is sign up at patreon.com/MagratheaBuilderWorlds. Easy peasy. And for the price of a cup of coffee, you stand the chance of winning a piece of scenery made by me. Good, right, okay. I think that's kind of like all there. Oh yeah, there are other projects I've got going on this year, of course. I mean, you know, well, work-wise, it's going to be absolutely bonkers. You might get to see me messing around with other people's made scenery, especially resin stuff. I've got a little confession to make. It's still, I haven't done anything with it. I might have to do a little unboxing video at some point when I've got space. In a big box that came all the way here from wherever the hell it comes from, Croatia, I think. On Black Friday, I might have ordered some Tabletop World scenery. Quite a lot of Tabletop World scenery, actually. I've been tempting myself for years and years and years to get some Tabletop World scenery because it's gorgeous. And then that nice fisherman's hut and the coaching in were going out of kind of like print and not going to do it anymore. They're changing their scale, I think, slightly. And I couldn't help myself. And I bought a load of other stuff too. So I'm definitely going to be getting that, painting that, making some balls to put it on. I'm probably, hopefully, maybe, possibly playing Moonstone on it if I can get some figures painted for that too. So look, this has been a typical Magathea Builder Worlds rambling video. Not quite as long as my builds. There is one of those just around the corner, mind you. From that point of view, thank you for watching in 2023. If you watch me in 2023 and you're still here and you're stuck with me, you rule. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Go back and watch the old stuff. I was delighted catching up with a couple of people who were watching my entire back catalogue of Necromunda stuff because they only discovered me recently. It really tickles me that videos I made 2 or 3 years ago keep getting watched. It's really, really neat. So thanks for sticking with me in 2023. It wasn't the best of years for me and my family. Big changes have happened around there, which is all kind of cool now. And we're up and positive and going forward. And I hope in 2024 is going to be a really good year for me and for my wife and for our TV channel and for the dogs and for my new workshop and for making models and playing games. I look forward to meeting and catching up with some of you at different cons. Certainly we'll be at Salute, or we'll probably go back to Selwig. Who knows where else we're going to be. And if you're around in England in the summer, I will be out as a pirate at different places, including Dover Castle, Carisbrooke Castle, Pendennis Castle, and the other one, where is it? Oh yeah, Scarborough Castle too. So yeah, catch me soon somewhere in some century or another, or here at Magathea Builder Worlds, making models for this daft hobby that we all know and love very, very well. Hey, wait a minute, stop. Just before I go and I do this is me, Magathea, Beard of World, thanks for watching. I forgot to do one thing. You could tell that I haven't made many videos recently. Do you like my flags, by the way? Look, that's the Kraken up there. Whee! And that's my own pirate flag. Dead man's hand. That's from the Fortune. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've done all the thanks and all that. So if you're still with me on this journey and you're enjoying yourself being here, like down below. You know, like this thing, give it a click, do the subscribe thing if you haven't subscribed already. Make comments, say hello, say welcome back, say oh fuck off, I wish you weren't still on YouTube. Say whatever you like, it all helps. Pass this video on to your mates. If you're interested, follow the links on the Only Crate stuff. And yeah, I'll see you very soon with the Judge Dredd build. Oh yeah, back to the bloke who's got it all sorted out with the things set up properly so he can say goodbye. Yeah, he looks a bit like me. Yeah, but not as handsome. This has been a Magathea Builder of Worlds production. I suppose it's been sponsored by Only Games Crate and My Mini Factory. Thanks for watching. I'll see you very, very soon.